Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome. And welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about AEW Dynamite for March 24th, 2021. Now, overall, man, this show, it was a very good show. Very good show. Absolutely loved the TNT Championship match with Darby Allin and John Silver. I thought that was a great match. That trios match with the Bucks, the Bucks and Brandon Cutler versus the Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid. I thought that was really cool. Probably one of the best matches on the night, on the show. But yeah, you know, those were my only two favorite matches on the show. The Omega and Matt Sydal match was good too. We just had we had some great matches on this show. And so yeah, this is the AEW Dynamite review on the Ryan Awesome Show for March 24th, 2021. And if you haven't done this already, man, hit the thumbs up, man. What are you waiting for? Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out. Because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And right next to it, you click on that bell so you don't miss out. And so, yeah, we started off the show with a match. And it was the AEW Eliminator Match. And it was Kenny by God Omega, who is the AEW World Champion, with Don Callis in his corner. He was on commentary, versus Matt Sydal with Mike Sydal in his corner. And so, yeah, even though this match was a great match and everything, this match right here, it felt pointless. It was pointless. It was a pointless match. A overly a predictable match. Because you knew Kenny Omega is not gonna lose. You knew Kenny Omega is gonna win. And the story of the match. How Sydal got an opportunity to fight Kenny Omega. In a non-title match, was him beating Michael Nakazawa. So that was a joke. And so the match was, if Matt Sydal won the match, then he get a title opportunity against Kenny Omega, and that obviously is not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. And so yeah, we started off the match. We had chops to Sydal. We had a tilt-a-whirl head scissors to Omega. And then Sydal, he was kicking Omega over and over and over again. And we had a corner knee to Omega. And then Omega, he had a huge clothesline to Sydal. And, turns him inside out with that clothesline. And so we had a belly-to-back suplex to Sydal, in the ring and on the ring apron. And then we had a backbreaker to Sydal. And we had a jumping, spinning kick to Omega, follow up by a spinning heel kick to Omega. And then we had a top rope hurricanrana to Omega. And then, yeah, we had a fisherman's brainbuster, So it was a fisherman's turned into a brainbuster. I believe it was to Omega. And so, yeah. And then we had a top rope hurricanrana. Sydal, he tried to go for the top rope hurricanrana. And then Omega, man, he blocked it. Like, the way that, he blocked it, and he ended up tripping up Matt Sydal. And so he went under Matt Sydal, and he just launched him up. And then he hit, his body had hit the turnbuckle. And so he had hit the turnbuckle, his butt hit the turnbuckle, and he hit a backflip, and landed right on his face in the ring. So that was a nasty spot right there. And so, yeah, we had a Snapdragon suplex to Sydal. And then we had a roundhouse kick, follow up by a spiral Russian leg sweep to Omega. And so, yeah, and Omega, he blocked the Meteora and then turned it into a power bomb into the turnbuckle. And so, yeah, and we had a power bomb to Sydal, follow up by the V trigger. And so, yeah, right after that, we had another V trigger to Matt Sydal. And then Omega, he tried to go for his one wing angel. And then Sydal, he had turned it into a poison rana, so that was wicked right there. I love that spot. And so, yeah, Omega, Sydal, he was at the top rope. He was trying to go for his airborne. The airborne. No, he don't call it the airborne. He called it something else. I forgot what he called it, but he was trying to go for the shooting star press. And so Omega, he had ran over to Matt Sydal and gave him a B trigger, while he was on the top rope. And so right after that, we had Omega. He tried to hit the one wing angel, and then Sydal, he had rolled up Kenny Omega, a victory roll. He victory rolled Omega, and so for a damn near fall, man, that was close. He almost had it. It was 2.5. The referee, like his hands was this close from hitting that mat for 3. So that was a close one right there. And so yeah, right after that, Kenny Omega was done. He was done playing games, and so he hit Matt Sydal with a one wing angel to win the match, and that was it. So Kenny Omega wins the match, and rightfully so. There was no way in hell that Matt Sydal was gonna beat Kenny Omega. There was no way that Kenny Omega was losing. And so yeah, that was it with that match. Great match. You know, the story, how we got to this match was freaking terrible. Matt Sydal beating Michael Nakazawa to get to Kenny Omega. That was terrible. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had Alex Marvez. He interviews John Silver before his championship match against Darby Allin, the TNT champion. So this is what John Silver had to say.
Darby Allin for the TNT championship. Are you ready? Oh, am I ready, Marvez? Does it look like I'm ready? Check it out! Let's show them how ready you are. Yeah, screw on, Marvez. Let's do it. Coffin drop.
And they were mocking Darby Allin with the coffin drops. And Stu Grayson did his, and then Five did his, and they moved out of the way. And that was it with that. Oh yeah, Hangman Adam Page.
It's a big opportunity, but don't worry. Those guys will be proud of you either way. So good luck. Thank you. You're the man, Hangman. I'm ready.
So yeah. Hangman Adam Page, he had wished John Silver luck. Right after after the Dark Order was playing around and stuff. And so yeah, speaking of Hangman Adam Page, we had another match. It was Hangman Adam Page versus Cezar Bononi. And so yeah, this was a squash match. Not a squash match, but it was a very quick match. We had first Bononi, he was using his power against Page. And so Page, he was fighting back, he had a big boot. And Bononi, he was fighting back. He had caught Page in midair, and he slammed him on the ring apron. And then, Bononi, he was taking control of the match for a little bit, and he was showing off a lot, which is a huge mistake. And so, yeah. So Page, he ended up fighting back, and he was hitting him with clotheslines and stuff. And he hit a exploder suplex to Bononi, and then he followed that up with a buckshot lariat to win the match. So Adam Hangman Page, he wins the match, and that was it. That was it from that match. Really wasn't much to this match, but Hangman Adam Page wins the match. And so yeah, right after this, we had a video of Lance Archer, the Murder Hawk monster, Lance Archer. He spoke about Sting, and so this is what he had to say about Sting.
Sting, man, I looked up to you. I think everybody that's ever stepped in the ring has looked up to you. You know what? Let's face it. Without the icon, there is no Murder Hawk monster. Without Sting, there is no Lance Archer. And you want to know why I would interrupt your time? Because it should be my time. This bat meant something back in the day. It meant justice. It meant people paid attention to you, Sting. Well, now people are going to pay attention to me, the Murder Hawk monster. And if they don't, the walls are going to come crashing down on them. And it's going to be my boot that kicks it in on them. You're going to go down as one of the greatest ever, Sting, and people are going to remember my name, the Murder Hawk Monster Lance Archer. And sooner or later, one way or another, it's going to be showtime.
And that was it. So that's what Lance Archer had to say about Sting. And so yeah, man, Lance Archer, he is better. He is better as a heel than a babyface, man. I don't know why they turned this guy into a babyface the first time when he was feuding with Eddie Kingston. They should have just kept him as a heel. Because he used to come out all the time, beating the hell out of everybody that was in sight. That's the Lance Archer that I miss, man. And then when they turned him into a babyface, he didn't do much of that anymore. And so yeah, I'm glad that they, giving him, turning him back into a heel, because he looks like a heel, man. Like a guy like that, man, he does not need to be a babyface. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had Tony Schiavone. He interviews Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D. right after the match, the lights out match with Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, last week, which was a great match, probably the best match on that show last week. And so yeah, so Tony Schiavone interviews Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D, not Sting. So it's good seeing him not interviewing Sting. So this is what Dr. Britt Baker had to say.
She deserves a round of applause for one of the greatest matches that we have ever seen here on Dynamite in her almost 2 years. Dr. Baker?
And they booing her. I don't know why they booing her.
That's it? That is the warm welcome you give me for the hell that I went through last week? You all are as dumb, delusional, and disrespectful as Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa, you should be thanking me every day that you wake up. You should be thanking me because you will forever be remembered now. You got to be a part of the history that I wrote with my own blood. And then you had the audacity to stand here in my company, in my division, and say that you put the women on the map. Then why is everybody talking about me? And I don't need the praise and adoration of all you legends and experts telling me that I'm worthy now, that I'm a star now. Mick Foley.
Uh-oh.
Thanks for the thumbs up. Except it took you 20 years to become a hardcore legend, and I did it in one night.
She name dropped Mick Foley.
And that night, when I had 87 thumbtacks in my back and the blood was flowing down into my eyes, I've never been able to see more clearly. Because Tony Khan, you're out here looking for every legend that ever has been when you have the biggest one right here standing under your nose. Because not only did I make history that night, I put AEW on the map. And those 3 letters, AEW, come second to the most epic 3 in all of professional wrestling. D.M.D.
And that was it. That's what Britt Baker had to say. Why hasn't Britt Baker been the AEW Women's Champion yet? Why? I don't know why. I guess I know why. I guess because it probably has to do with injuries, or it could probably be her in-ring skills. She's not the best in the ring. She's good, but she's not the best in the ring. So I guess that's why they're not giving her the title. But she's great on the microphone. She has character, man. She's probably the best characters on that show in the women's division. Is Britt Baker. She has charisma, man. Why hasn't she getting the title yet? It's either Thunder Rosa or Britt Baker. I'll be fine if it's Thunder Rosa or Britt Baker getting the title. I don't care who it is, but one of them, they need to be champion, because we need to get that title off of Sheeta, man. Because Sheeta, man, she has done nothing with the championship, nothing. So that's why I think either one of them should be the champion. Because dude, look at the match. Look at the match that they did last week. Look at the match. They main evented last week. And they're not getting nothing. They ain't getting no title shots. I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had Dasha Gonzalez. She tried to interview Christian Cage. Before she tried to interview Christian Cage, she was talking to the Varsity Blondes and Dante Martin before their match against FTR, the Pinnacle, FTR, and Shawn Spears in that trio 6-man tag match. And so yeah, Christian he was talking, telling them strategy. He was giving them strategy on tag teams and stuff like that. And so yeah, and so this is what, and then Frankie Kazarian, he had interrupted Christian, and so this is what happened.
Frankie, I'm kidding. Hey, Frankie, I'm kidding. I'm so happy for you, man. You look great. Good to see you. Love the shirt. Love the catchphrase. You know, I kind of live by that catchphrase too, and I've been doing that since day one here. I mean, you know, I'm an AEW original. You guys know that. First ever tag team champion. I've beat the best this company's thrown in front of me, and just wondering when does the work part begin?
That's a good question. Let me ask you a question, Frankie. What's up? You're not turning into cranky Frankie over here.
Frankie.
Are you trying to convince yourself? Are you trying to convince me? You don't have to convince me of anything.
Yeah?
I've been in the ring with you many times. I know how good you are, Frankie.
Okay, good.
But you want to know when the work starts?
I'd love to know that.
Okay. It starts next week.
Next week?
Yeah. And as of right now, I don't have an opponent, so if you're free, you can
Yeah.
step up if you want.
You're on. It's gonna be great to be in the ring with you again, man. Really is.
Sure will.
Okay?
All right.
Hey, you busy on Monday nights? No, you're not busy on Monday nights. Anyways, I have a match on Dark Elevation Monday night. You might want to come check it out, because 7 years, it's a long time to be out of the ring.
Oh. And so yeah, that was it. That was it with that. So we're gonna have Frankie Kazarian versus Christian Cage. So they reliving their TNA days. So yeah, that should be good. And so yeah, they set it for next week. And so yeah, right after that we had a trios match, and it was the Pinnacle. That's FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler, and Shawn Spears with MJF, Wardlow, and Tully Blanchard in their corner, versus the Varsity Blondes. That's Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. and Dante Martin representing Top Flight. And so yeah, like this match, man, it was all over the place, man. And so I only caught a few notes. We had a double moonsault to FTR from Dante. We had a double spear, 2 spears, and Harwood from Griff Garrison. And then, you know, at one point, all 3 of them, they were about to dive outside the ring onto the Pinnacle. And at Wardlow, he had stepped in front of all 3 of them outside the ring and just stared at him. And was like, nah, you ain't about to jump on nobody. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so, yeah, the heels, they had took control of the match. And then Tully Blanchard, he had got involved at one point. You know, he slapped not Griff Garrison, he had slapped Pillman Jr. in the face. And so, yeah, we had a hot tag to Dante. He took out FTR and Spears with, you know, kicks and drop kicks and stuff. And we had a brain buster to Dante from Dax Harwood, a beautiful brain buster from Dax. And then to end the match, we had the C4. We had the C4 to Dante Martin from Shawn Spears to win the match. And so the Pinnacle, they won the match. And so right after the match, we had Wardlow. He had took out Brian Pillman Jr. with a knee strike. And so, yeah, and right after that, you know, the Pinnacle, they had spoke on the microphone, and this is what they had to say.
The Pinnacle is not just a name. The Pinnacle is not just a group. The Pinnacle is family. Okay? I don't have a family. I don't have a wife and kid waiting for me at home, but I have these men right here, and I will live for these men, and I will die for every single one of them. Hold this.
Dax Harwood.
Santana and Ortiz, look, man, you've done well for yourself. Both of you guys have done well for yourself. And you got a lot of guys here at AEW fooled. Let me tell you something. You got a group of guys here that ain't fooled. Okay, we know there ain't a grain of salt in your body. Inner Circle, listen, this ain't an SNL skit. This ain't a stand-up comedy show. It's not a rom-com. The marquee says professional wrestling. The marquee says professional wrestling. And if you want to find where you stand in the world of professional wrestling, you come to AEW and you ask for my family. You ask for the Pinnacle.
MJF, he talks.
You know what, Chris? Chris Jericho, I'm a little confused. I figured by now you'd try to come out here and break the walls down. But I guess the only thing you're breaking nowadays is whatever chair you decide to sit on. Oh, you don't like that, Chris, huh? That make you upset? How about you do me a favor? How about you grab all your boys and come out here right now? Oh, wait, silly me, Tony, that's right. You're not going to come out here because you are terrified of us.
Oh, hold on. You decimated them a couple of weeks
Uh-oh,
ago.
Tony
They
Schiavone.
are hurt. You know well.
Tony Schiavone, better watch yourself, man.
I'm sorry, Tony. Something you wanted to say?
No, never mind.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Oh.
You giving us the gift of silence is better than anything. But speaking of gifts, boys, next week, boy, do I have the gift of all time for every single one of you. And that gift is for all the future gold we're about to hold. Because, ladies and gentlemen, when you're in the Pinnacle, you are always on top.
And so that was it. That was it from the Pinnacle. A very, very awesome promo, man. MJF is always great on the mic. You know, golden, absolutely golden on the mic. And so yeah, speaking of gold, they mentioned gold. You know, what like the gold? I guess who's gonna go after the TNT Championship? Who's gonna go after the AEW World Championship? Maybe MJF go after the World Championship. FTR, they can go after the tag team titles. Who's gonna go after the TNT Championship? I don't know. But yeah, they are talking about adding trios titles. So they might have, you know, a hand in the trios titles. But yeah, cuz they have a lot of trios, man. They have a lot of trios in AEW and a lot of trios matches. And so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they added trios titles. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, yeah, Team Taz, they spoke. It was a video, it was a Team Taz, they spoke about what happened last week. And so this is what they had to say.
Message from Team Taz, from all of us, to all you AEW fans, the Team Taz fans. Hey, look, we understand. We know there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there. A lot of people are like, what is going on with Team Taz? There's problems. There is no problems. I can assure you, no problems. Everything is great. The Machine, Brian Cage, the FTW champion, he actually apologized to the whole group for praising Sting last week on Dynamite. Cage actually also apologized directly to Ricky Starks for last week, singling Ricky out. Everything is good with me. Everything is good with Team Taz. Hobbs, you good?
I'm cool.
Hook, you good?
I'm good.
How about you, Starks?
Absolutely.
Cage? Who better?
That was it.
Message from Team
That was it from Team Taz. And, you know, when Taz had asked him, was Brian Cage good? It took him a while to answer. And so, for Brian Cage, you know, from his standpoint, you know, it looked like he didn't want to. It looked like he didn't want to say, you know, everything is good. Because I think he meant everything that he said last week. And so, yeah, I'm still not a fan of them. You know, breaking up Team Taz, still not a fan of it. You know, Brian Cage is one of the founding fathers of Team Taz. You know, Team Taz started off with Brian Cage and Taz, and they added all these other members. So I wouldn't get rid of the first member of Team Taz. I would not. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Tony Schiavone. He interviewed QT Marshall, and I do not have the video. And so yeah, QT Marshall, you know, he was talking about, you know, Cody Rhodes and stuff. And, he challenged Cody Rhodes into an exhibition match next week to prove that he can hang with, you know, the best of AEW, the best that AEW has and stuff like that. And, you know, he was basically saying that he wanted to step out of Cody Rhodes' shadow and stuff like that. Because, like the way that he was talking, it felt like, you know, he was underappreciated and stuff like that. And so, you know, by being Cody's friend and stuff like that. And so Cody Rhodes, he came out in an arm sling, and so he accepted the match. He said that, you know, I'll do whatever it takes to win, but I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna hurt you, QT. And so they accepted the challenge by shaking each other's hand, and they said that Arn Anderson will be the referee in this exhibition match next week. And so that was it with that. And so right after this, we had another trios tag match, which was probably one of the best matches on the show for me, man. it was the Lucha Bros, that's Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix and Laredo Kid, versus the Young Bucks with the AEW World Tag Team Champions, that's Matt and Nick Jackson and Brandon Cutler. And so yeah, man, this match, I'm telling you, man, this match was all over the place, man. I try to get as much notes as I can in this match, man. Like the most important things in this match. And so yeah, Nick and Phoenix, they were going back and forth. They was using their athleticism against each other. We had a super kick to Matt from Pentagon. And then, at one point, Cutler and Laredo Kid, they were going back and forth. And we had double arm drags to the Bucks from Phoenix. We had a tope con hilo to the Bucks from Pentagon. And then we had Brandon Cutler, he had a phenomenal forearm to Phoenix. And then he followed up with an outside springboard moonsault on everybody outside the ring. And so, yeah, and then right after that we had another moonsault on the top rope from Laredo Kid on everybody outside the ring. And so, yeah, and then we had the Bucks, they hit the Motor City Machine Guns finishing move on the Laredo Kid. And we had sling blades to the Bucks from Penta. And we had super kicks to the Bucks from the Lucha Bros. We had an assisted splash from Phoenix. And so Phoenix, he had jumped off of Pentagon's, shoulders to deliver that splash. And so, yeah, he did a splash. And we had a beautiful senton from Phoenix on Nick. And so, yeah, Nick and Phoenix, they were going back and forth with super kicks and strikes. And, Nick had caught Phoenix with a clothesline. We had a Northern Lights suplex to Laredo Kid from Matt Jackson. And then he ended up Northern Lights suplexing both Pentagon and Laredo Kid. And so, yeah, in the Bucks, they hit their signature tag team move, the Risky Business to Laredo Kid. And then they hit the assisted Indie Taker to, I think it was Pentagon. It was either Pentagon or Phoenix. And then, yeah, both teams, they were going back and forth. And at one point, we had a springboard DDT on a ring apron from Matt Jackson on Phoenix. So that was a nasty spot, dude. That was a nasty spot. And then we had a Spanish Fly to Brandon Cutler from Laredo Kid to win the match. So the Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid, they won the match. And so right after the match, we had Kenny Omega. He attacked Laredo Kid. And so, yeah, and Kenny Omega, he was running his mouth too. And so this is what he had to say.
Yeah, the microphone. John Moxley remembers the microphone. And now the AEW World Championship.
So he was attacking Laredo Kid with the belt and a microphone. So he grabs the microphone.
Give that to me. Give me the mic, Don. Give that to me. Hey, ho, ho. Wow.
He's flipped. Fractured.
I'm having vivid flashbacks here, Matt.
I bet.
I'm having vivid flashbacks. I'm remembering 2019, the first ever Fighter Fest. All the players are here, aren't they? Yeah, I remember you. You from AAA. Remember you from the first ever Fighter Fest? What happened, guys, huh? What happened? I'm recalling 3 years ago when we all had a choice. Yeah, we all had a choice. 12-year friendship. I would have liked to call that family. Would like to have called that family. Huh? You guys are family men? You know what that's like? 3 years ago, I had a choice. And what did I do? Did I choose to stay at my home with the people that loved me? With the people that I loved? With the fans that loved me? The fans that I loved back? No. Did I go to greener pastures to New York? No. Where did I choose? It's quite obvious, isn't it? And I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, well, Kenny, you chose AEW. I never chose AEW. I chose you. I chose the Young Bucks. I chose the vision that we created 3 years ago to make this the best wrestling promotion on the planet. And rather than sit in the high school cafeteria with the cool kids and the captain of the football team, you chose Brandon Cutler.
Oh, man.
I choose you, and you never chose me back. And yeah, sure, maybe Mr. Callis can come off as a little abrasive. But I'm gonna give you guys one more chance. One more chance. Toss it up.
Too sweet him.
This is ego
Are
out
you
of
with
control.
me?
Out of control.
Toss it up for the hard cam. Are you guys with me? It's now or never. It's now or never.
And they left the ring, and that was it with that. And so yeah, the Bucks, they had said no. They said no again, and so they left the ring with Brandon Cutler. And so Kenny Omega, he was running his mouth again. And so yeah, right behind Kenny Omega, from behind, we had the Lucha Bros. They attacked Kenny Omega, and then they hit their package power driver tag team finishing move to Omega, and Omega, he was bleeding from his mouth. And so you had the Good Brothers. They showed up right after. The damage was done. Instead of saving Kenny Omega, they showed up late. And so you heard one person in the crowd say, "What took you so long?" And that's the same thing I said. What took you so long, Good Brothers? And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, absolutely loved this match, man. Great back and forth, counter after counter after counter after counter. Man, I'm telling you, man, this is the best match on the show. One of the best matches on the show. And so yeah, right after that, we had Jade Cargill. She spoke about Red Velvet, and so this is what she had to say about Red Velvet. Oh.
Red Velvet, I think you made the biggest mistake in your career. You getting in my face was the biggest joke. I beat your ass a couple weeks ago, and you're coming back asking for more? I'm on the path of greatness here, and you're just a pit stop on the way to my throne. We're both undefeated in singles matches. There can only be one. I am that woman. I am Jade Cargill. I look like money. I sound like money. I'm good doing it too. So Red Velvet, when you step in this ring, understand you'll be stepping in the ring with that bitch.
And that was it. Yeah, that was it with not Red Velvet, Jade Cargill. One thing, dude, she is not good on the mic. She is not good on the microphone, man. She is not. It sounds like she's reading off of a script. I'm gonna beat that ass. That's how she talk. Like she sound like she reading off of a script. It felt like it's no emotion. Like when she deliver a promo, it's no emotion and stuff. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that we had a video. So it's basically gonna be Cody Rhodes. It's gonna be Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes. They're having a reality TV show coming on TNT soon. And so yeah, that was it with the announcement. And so yeah, right after that we had Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. They spoke about what happened last week about the Good Brothers breaking Eddie Kingston's ankle or knee. And so this is what happened.
There it is. Get it. It's a broken something. That's fine. I've broken things before in my life, and I've come back from it. Good Brothers, Kenny, Bullet Club. This is not New Japan. This is not 6 years ago. This is not about selling some tacky t-shirts. Ooh, did I hit a nerve? I hope I did. Y'all gonna pay for this. Where we come from, you take one of us out, we put you in a morgue. Do you understand that? Do you understand the seriousness of this?
He stood up.
Do you understand how far we got it?
Question.
How far?
That's the question you gotta ask yourselves, Good Brothers. Just how far are you willing to take this? You think you're willing to take it as far as us? You think you're willing to get as much blood underneath your fingernails as we are? Son. There is war in the streets of Jacksonville. The Young Bucks. These Young Bucks. I don't know the Young Bucks. I don't like the Young Bucks.
What's
I
their
don't play
deal?
games. I don't play these games with people I don't know. But I guess I owe them one after last week. I don't like owing people stuff. I don't really have a lot of patience for this whole Bullet Club melodrama thing y'all got going on. But as you can see, Bucks, We're playing with live rounds here. So if y'all are going to be in the game, you better be willing to get your hands dirty.
And so yeah, that was it. That was it with that. With John Moxley and Eddie Kingston, sending a warning to the Bucks. And so yeah, right after that, we had a match. It was a women's match. It was Nyla Rose with Vicky Guerrero in her corner versus Ty Conch. And so yeah, before the match, when Ty Conch was making her entrance, the Dark Order that came out, showing their support to Conch by doing a Dark Order pose, and then they left. And so yeah, to begin the match, we had a huge shoulder tackle to Conch. And then, Conch, she was fighting back. She had an arm bar, locked in the arm bar to Rose. And she gave Nyla Rose judo throws. And then, Nyla Rose, she had hit her signature move, that draping knee drop, where she have her opponent on her knee. When she have her opponent on the rope, draping from the rope, and she just jump off the rope and hit that knee drop. So she did that to Conch. And then Vicky Guerrero, she had got involved in the match. She had slapped Conch in the face behind the referee's back. And then, Conch, she had corner knees to Rose. And then, Conch, at one point, she had fought out of the Beast Bomb. Nyla Rose was about to hit the Beast Bomb, and Conch had fought out of it. And then Conch, she was kicking Rose over and over and over again. She hit her with knee strikes. And then, to end the match, we had Ty Conch. She had a finishing move, the Hammerlock DDT. She called it the DD tie, to Rose to win the match. So Ty Conch, she had won the match. She had beat Nyla Rose. So with that, I was shocked, man. I was shocked that they gave the match to Ty Conch. Ty Conch, she haven't been winning on Dynamite. She's never, she usually not on Dynamite. She usually be on Dark and stuff like that. So they gave her a win on Dynamite. And so yeah, that was it with that. I don't know why they gave Ty Conch the win. But if they gave it a win, they have something planned for her, I guess. They have something planned for her. And so yeah, that was, it was a huge win for Ty Conch. But I don't understand why they gave it to her. And so yeah, right after the match, we had Ty Conch, she was celebrating, and then Vicky Guerrero, she had grabbed that Ty Conch's leg, and then Nyla Rose had attacked Ty Conch. And then Hikaru Shida had came out, and she helped Conch by hitting Rose with the kendo stick. And so yeah, the bunny had came out and hit Hikaru Shida with the kendo stick. And so yeah, Conch tried to help out Shida. And so the bunny had hit Shida with the bunny had hit. Yeah, she hit Shida with it, but the bunny hit Conch with the stick. And so yeah, and right after that we had Matt Hardy. He had came out.
The Women Eliminator title tournament. It was terrible. It was a sham because the bunny wasn't in it.
Oh no, that's not the reason why it was terrible.
Have been overlooked for far too long. That ends now.
And yeah, that's all he said. Yeah, that the bunny has been overlooked, and that it ends now. Her being overlooked is it ends now. Now he said that the AEW Women's Eliminator Tournament was a disaster. It was terrible. And he right about that. He right about it. It was terrible. The bunny not being in it is not the reason why it was terrible. It's just the fact that they had one side of the tournament, the bracket, the Japanese women, versus the AEW Women's Division. You should have added the Impact Women's Division in the tournament. But you added on the other side of the bracket, you added people that nobody knows in the tournament. That's why it was a failure. And so yeah, that was it with that. Yeah, again with this, I don't know why they gave the win to Ty Conch. I don't know why. But yeah, that was it with it. And so yeah, and right after that, we had Miro, Kip Sabian. They talked about the best friends in their match next week. And so Miro, he had said next week game over and stuff like that. And so that was it. And so yeah, I'm just ready for this this feud to be over with. I'm getting sick and tired of Miro and Kip Sabian, the feud with the best friends and stuff like that. So let's just end this, man. End this. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Scorpio Sky. He had spoke. Scorpio Sky, he said that everybody has to stop pretending that he is not uniquely gifted following his attack on Darby Allin. Scorpio Sky said that his days of being underrated are over. And then Sky, he was talking about, you know, the elevation match, the AEW elevation match with Matt Sydal. And Sky said that he's more than just one man. He's the face of the revolution. And so that was it with Scorpio Sky. And so next week's show, it will be Hikaru Shida, the AEW Women's Champion, and Ty Conch versus the Bunny and Nyla Rose, with Matt Hardy and Vicky Guerrero in their corner. And it's gonna be the Good Brothers. That's Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, and the AEW World Heavyweight Champion Kenny By God Omega, with Don Callis in their corner versus the Lucha Bros. That's Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix and Laredo Kid next week. So, oh yeah, another thing with this. I thought Pentagon was a heel. I thought he was a heel. He was going after Cody Rhodes at first. I don't know. They turned him back into a babyface. I don't know, man. And so so we have an exhibition match next week, and it's gonna be Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, versus QT Marshall, with special guest referee Arn Anderson. And also we have the in-ring debut of Christian Cage, and he'll be going one-on-one with Frankie Kazarian of SCU. And so yeah, that's the matches that is announced for next week. And so right after this was the main event, which was my next best match, another match that I like on the show. And it was John Silver with the Dark Order in his corner versus Darby Allin, who is the TNT champion, and this is for the TNT championship match. And so yeah, we had a running European uppercut to Darby Allin, knocking him outside of the ring. We had Silver, he was throwing around Darby Allin, using his strength against Allin. And then we had a corner knee strike to Darby Allin. We had a brain buster to Darby Allin. He kicked out. We had kicks to Darby Allin. We had, Silver, he threw Darby Allin to the guardrail. So, in the beginning portion of this match, man, Darby Allin, he got his ass handed to him by John Silver. And so, yeah, so Silver, he had threw Darby Allin to the guardrail. And so, yeah, Silver, he was about to run into Darby Allin, but Darby Allin, he had moved out of the way. And so Silver, he had ran into the guardrail, over the guardrail, so he was knocked down. And so Silver, he had recovered. And so yeah, Darby, he was in the ring. He was about to hit the tope suicida on Silver. And so Five, who was outside the ring with the Dark Order, he had pushed John Silver out of the way, so he took the bullet for John Silver. And so John Silver, he had a German suplex on Darby Allin on the floor. And then Sting, he had came out, no theme music. He had came out with his bat. And so, yeah, he was getting tired of it. He was getting tired of the Dark Order getting involved. And so he had just, stared off the Dark Order. And so, yeah, we had Silver, he kicked Allin over and over and over again. So, yeah, he kicked him, and he hit a super kick. And we had a stunner. So, yeah, Darby Allin, he tried to hit his stunner on Silver, and then Silver, he had turned it into the Queen Slayer. So that's Anna Jay's submission move. So he paying homage to Anna Jay. And so yeah, Allin, he had fought out of it. We had a spinning DDT to Darby Allin. He kicked out, and then Silver, he continued to kick the living crap out of Darby Allin over and over and over and over and over again. And so that fired up Darby Allin. And so yeah, Darby Allin, he started slapping Silver. And they were going back and forth with slaps. So they were slap boxing each other. And then, yeah, we had a roll up to Darby Allin. He had kicked out. That was a close one. And so, yeah, we had a pump kick to Darby Allin. And then at one point, we had Darby Allin, he was going on the top rope. John Silver was knocked down, off the top rope. They were fighting at the top rope. And then Darby had knocked John Silver down. And so, yeah, Darby Allin, he was about to go for the coffin drop. And so, yeah, the Dark Order, they were outside the ring. And so instead of hitting John Silver with the coffin drop, he hit the Dark Order with the coffin drop. And so, yeah, that was a mistake. Instead of going after your opponent, you go after people that's outside the ring that's not even interfering in the match. And so, yeah, he hit the coffin drop on the Dark Order. And so, yeah, Darby Allin got kicked. Got kicked in the face by John Silver, and then John Silver he hit a top rope torture rack power bomb, and he goes for the cover, he pins him, and so yeah, he pinned him like the force that he gave like in his pinfall. Darby Allin his foot had hit the rope, so it broke the count, so it didn't count. And so yeah, it was a torture rack power bomb, and then yeah, John Silver he went for the Brody bomb, so he paying homage to Mr. Brody Lee with the Brody bomb. So Darby Allin he had fought out of it, and then to end the match we had Darby Allin he hit the cold red to John Silver to win the match, and so that was it with the match. So Darby Allin he wins and is still the TNT champion. Great match, man. John Silver, he looked good in this match. In his main event match, I think this is his first main event match, his first one-on-one main event match against the TNT champion Darby Allin. So yeah, Silver, he looked good. He looked strong against Darby Allin. Darby Allin, he sold, great seller in this match. And then right after the match, man, we had Darby Allin. Darby Allin, he had helped up. Darby Allin and Sting, they helped up, John Silver. And so John Silver, he had gave, not John Silver, Darby Allin had gave John Silver a fist bump. So they fist bumped each other. And so right after that, we had Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy, he had attacked John Silver in a Dark Order. Matt Hardy, Private Party, the Butcher and the Blade, they attacked the Dark Order and Darby Allin. And then you had the ladies that had came out and fought too. Not Anna Jay, no. Ty Conch and the Bunny, they had fought each other. And so yeah, a fight just broke out, and that was it. And that ended off the show. And so yeah, that was it with Dynamite. Really good show. And so yeah, main event, the trios match. If I had to pick which one was the better match out of the trios match and the TNT Championship match, it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. I'll probably go with the trios match. Probably go with the trios match with the Bucks and the Lucha Bros. I'll probably go with that match. But yeah, other than that, man, still a good show. It was a good show. And so yeah, this is the AEW Dynamite review. That was the AEW Dynamite review for March 24th, 2021 on The Ryan Awesome Show. If you like this video, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And comment down below. Tell me how you felt about this episode of AEW Dynamite. And yeah. And that's it, man. Share this video. Do what you got to do. And if you've missed my last week's episode of AEW Dynamite, the video is going to be right up here. It's going to be right up here. And I'll see you guys on either Thursday or Friday for NXT. I will be watching NXT and I will review the show. So that'll be up either on Friday or Saturday. Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. One of those days. And yeah, man. Once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this has been The Ryan Awesome Show. Take care. Stay safe. And that's